Northern District of Oklahoma. We'll also vote on Judge Ramona Villamelona, who's been nominated to serve another 10-year term on the District Court of the Northern Mariana Islands. I'd like to thank Senators Langford and Mullen and the White House for their bipartisan commitment to fill these 2 district court vacancies in Oklahoma. Their willingness to work has resulted in 2 outstanding nominees. John Russell is a longtime litigator from Tulsa with vast experience in civil and criminal matters in federal court. 7 years as federal prosecutor before private practice, focuses on complex civil litigation, tried 28 cases to verdict, 7 where he was sole counsel. Sarah Hill previously served as Attorney General for the Cherokee Nation, has experience in natural resource land management issues in addition to tribal matters, served as prosecutor in the Cherokee Nation District Court and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Oklahoma. Ms. Hill is also a longtime litigator, having tried 43 cases to verdict. Notably, as Attorney General, Ms. Hill was responsible for scaling up the Cherokee Nation's criminal prosecution efforts immediately following the Supreme Court decision in McGirt. The current Attorney General of Oklahoma wrote in support of her nomination. In addition to working closely with local law enforcement, Ms. Hill directed increased resources to respond to surge in new tribal prosecutions. Her commitment to the rule of law has ensured that numerous victims in northeastern Oklahoma were not abandoned or forgotten. Both Republican senators from Oklahoma have expressed their support of these individuals. And now I'll turn to Ranking Member Graham for opening remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I'm glad our colleagues from Oklahoma were able to work something out. We'll have some talks later on about last week. But right now, I want to just reinforce a message that's been out there pretty strong this week. A couple of days ago, the FBI director said in this committee that when he looks around, he sees blinking lights everywhere, that the threat levels are the highest he's seen since he's been associated with the FBI across the board. And since October the 7th, there's been a rogues gallery of terrorist groups urging an attack on our nation. I've never seen it this bad. The border is never seen that as bad. 40,000 people have crossed in the last 4 days with no end in sight. So the country is running out of time to get control over this. Every day that goes by is more and more likely that terrorist groups are upset at us with helping Israel. They're going to try to pay us all back. They may be here already. But as the war in Israel goes on, and it has to go on to destroy Hamas, if Hamas is still standing, we're all going to pay a heavy price. The combination of the war in Israel, the broken border, the intel we've received from multiple sources about the threats to our nation make it imperative that we secure our border now. I want to help Ukraine. I want to help Taiwan. Certainly want to help Israel. But to my Democratic colleagues, President Biden is the commander-in-chief. He owes it to the nation to respond to the testimony that we've had in this committee and other places about the level of threats to our nation. I'll be doing a news conference at 1 o'clock today with some of my colleagues. We have many ideas about how to make the border more secure. This is not an immigration negotiation. This is a national security negotiation. So with that, I look forward to voting today, and I hope soon we can find a pathway forward that will allow us to secure our border and to help our allies.
Thank you, Senator Graham. I attended your security briefing yesterday and was impressed with the information we received. I believe on a bipartisan basis we can strengthen our border and national security. I mentioned then, and I mention again now, a visit yesterday with the Speaker of the Ukrainian Parliament made it clear that innocent people are fighting and dying in Ukraine even as we engage in this debate. So it has to be a timely response, and I hope that we can get it done. We should get it done. We must get it done before the Christmas break. Now we have 3 nominees, and we're going to consider them first.
I want to put a statement on record in regard to my reaction to some of the things that went on last week here.
Certainly welcome to do that, no objection. First nominee is Sarah Hill, nominated to the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Oklahoma. Does anyone wish to speak to her nomination? If not, the
Mr.
clerk will
Chairman.
call. Senator Cornyn.
Mr. Chairman, there seems to be some concerns about Sarah Hill. For example, a statement that she made in 2022 that the United States has been ruthlessly suppressing and illegally suppressing the tribal governments. I do have concerns about whether she can treat the United States fairly in controversies with the tribes in Oklahoma. I know there's a long history in the nation and in Oklahoma with regard to the status of the tribes and the way they've been treated. But as you pointed out, both of the Oklahoma senators have returned their blue slips. And as I understand that Ms. Hill's nomination has been paired with that of John David Russell, the other nominee from Oklahoma. So I will be voting yes for both of those nominees, mainly out of deference to the judgment of our colleagues from Oklahoma.
I agree with what he said.
Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Whitehouse.
Aye.
Ms. Klobuchar.
Aye.
Mr. Coons.
Aye.
Mr. Blumenthal.
Aye.
Ms. Hirono. Aye. Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Mr. Padilla.
Aye.
Mr. Ossoff. Aye. Mr. Welch. Aye. Ms. Butler. Aye. Mr. Graham.
Aye.
Mr. Grassley.
Aye.
Mr. Cornyn.
Aye.
Mr. Lee.
No by proxy.
Mr. Cruz.
No by proxy.
Mr. Hawley.
No.
Mr. Cotton.
No by proxy.
Mr. Kennedy.
No.
Mr. Tillis.
No.
Mrs. Blackburn. Chair Durbin.
Aye.
Chair Durbin, the ayes are 14, the nays are 7.
Nomination will be favorably reported to the floor. Next is John Russell, nominated to the Northern District of Oklahoma. Does anyone seek recognition to speak? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Whitehouse.
Aye.
Ms. Klobuchar.
Aye.
Mr. Coons.
Aye.
Mr. Blumenthal.
Aye.
Ms. Hirono. Mr. Booker. Mr. Padilla. Mr. Ossoff. Mr. Welch. Ms. Butler. Mr. Graham.
Aye.
I don't need to know this.
Mr. Grassley.
Yes, totally.
Mr.
John
Cornyn.
Rogan.
Yeah.
Mr. Lee.
No by proxy.
Mr. Cruz.
No by proxy.
Mr. Hawley. Mr. Cotton.
Aye by proxy.
Mr. Kennedy. Mr. Tillis. Mrs. Blackburn. Chair Durbin.
Aye.
Chair Durbin, on this vote, the ayes are 18, the nays are 3.
The nomination will be favorably reported to the floor. The next nominee is, forgive me if I mispronounce his last name, her last name, Ramona Manglona, the second 10-year term on the District Court of the Northern Mariana Islands. Does anyone wish to speak to this nomination? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Chairman, could you say her name again?
Manglona, I hope that's right.
I can't even say her first name, yeah.
Ramona. Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Whitehouse.
Aye.
Ms. Klobuchar.
Aye.
Mr. Coons.
Aye.
Mr. Blumenthal. Ms. Hirono. Mr. Booker. Mr. Padilla. Mr. Ossoff. Mr. Welch. Ms. Butler. Mr. Graham.
Aye.
Mr. Grassley.
Aye.
Mr. Cornyn. Mr. Lee.
Aye by proxy.
Mr. Cruz.
Aye by proxy.
Mr. Hawley. Mr. Cotton.
Aye by proxy.